Let's go, buddy.
Hey everyone! I'm so excited to share with you Mama's experience of going back to the Philippines after the pandemic. It was such an easy and trouble-free journey, and she's so glad she finally made it. You can watch about her journey before she came in the Philippines, link provided below. The last time we left the Philippines in 2020, just before the pandemic hit, where we decided to move to Australia as a family together. I'm not sure if you all know, but having OFW parents. Yep, both of my parents worked abroad. I grew up with my aunties and grandma in Bicol, but that's not the purpose of this video. Before we continue into that, please follow or subscribe, hit the bell icon, like this video, and comment down below if you want to know our family background before we even got to this point. I love hearing from you guys! The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the world in many ways, and it will never change back in those many ways. And one of them is the way we travel, and it will also never ever change back, but not from our perspective. For many Filipinos who live abroad, going back to their homeland has become a challenge, a dream, or a necessity. In this video, I will share Mama's personal experience of returning to the Philippines after more than 3 years of being away. I will come here in another video. We had planned to visit my family and friends every year, but then the pandemic hit and everything changed. Travel restrictions, lockdowns, quarantines, you name it. We were stuck in the land down under,
Australia, kangaroo.
away from my beloved country and loved ones, of course, for almost 3 years. The only thing we can keep in contact with was video chatting. And there were also some pretty big news. Well, one of the bigger news here in the land down under is the big Optus and Medibank hacks. We were maybe one of the few people, or rather I say family, that got an opportunity to enjoy the pandemic. And as I've said, this is not the purpose of this video. COVID party! So when the pandemic finally ended, yay! And travel became possible again, Mama booked the first flight, aka the cheapest flight she could find to Manila. The real reason was she had an agenda. That's why she needed to be there. She was so thrilled and edgy all at the same time. She didn't know what to expect. How much had things changed? How would she adjust? How would she feel? When she arrived at the airport, she felt a mix of emotions. She was happy to see the familiar sights and sounds of Manila. She doesn't have to wear a face mask, and I don't have to either. And no more social distancing rules. Yahoo! This is it. The moment she stepped out of the airport, she felt a wave of emotions wash over her and carried her all the way to Japan.
Let's go, buddy.
Mama's brother and her cousin, my titos, fetched me up from the airport. Quickly, we went straight to the parking to her next destination. She saw familiar faces, heard familiar sounds, smelled familiar scents, and greeted with a warm welcome that smelled like smoke. That moment, the weather temperature was 37 degrees. She felt like she was at home, but at the same time, she felt like a stranger. Everything looked different. There were new buildings, new roads, and new signs. There were fewer people, fewer cars, and fewer noises because we were on Skyway. Well, not me. I'm still back at Australia. The ultimate experience that you need to do in a country or in a place is to try their local food. And that's what they did. Welcome to Bulaluhan sa Espanya. Yes, this is just 2.5 kilometers from their place. First of all, she was greeted by the warm and friendly people of this place who welcomed me with big smiles. Bulaluhan means eatery, serving bulalo, aka beef shank or also buko. It's from a beef shank, which is a cross-cut of meat that comes from the lower leg of the cow. Beef also buko also contains a bone marrow in the center. They ordered bulalo and papaitan. Their bulalo or beef shank soup has a full-flavored meaty broth, but it is quite salty. The star of this is their bone marrow that needs to be sipped off from the bone itself, or dislodging it by forcible movements of its container. For short, itaktak mo. Comment down below if you have another term for that, because I already ran out. I want to talk about one of Mama's favorite dipping sauces that is super easy to make and goes well with many dishes. It's soya sauce and calamansi as dipping sauce. Soya sauce and calamansi are both common ingredients in Asian cuisine, especially in the Philippines, where calamansi is a native citrus fruit. Calamansi has a tangy flavor that balances the saltiness of soya sauce. Together, they create a simple but delicious sauce that can enhance the taste of dishes. And don't forget to put some bird's eye chili so it'll punch your taste buds because it is not the taste or flavor, it's a feeling. The second thing they ordered is papaitan. Papaitan is a popular Filipino stew dish that originated in the Ilocos region in the Philippines. It is an exotic stew made from cow, ox, or goat innards, offal, tripe, flavored with bile, green chili, and the sour agent like tamarind. The name of this dish was derived from the Filipino word pait, which means bitter. The bitter taste of this soup comes from the bile, which is a bitter juice extracted by the liver and stored in the gallbladder to aid digestion. This is what I can say.
Pait. Kasing pait na pakiramdam ko sa'yo.
Before we continue into that, please follow or subscribe, hit the bell icon, like this video, and comment down below. I love hearing from you guys!
Boss. Siya. Ito na yung bowl. Isang bowl.
For dessert, they asked for buko pandan, one of her favorite desserts. Buko pandan is a creamy and refreshing dessert made with young coconut meat, pandan-flavored gelatin, sweetened cream, and cheese to balance its sweetness. After that, they were full and went straight home.
Moments later.
That night, Mama asked someone to buy her isaw. Isaw is a popular Filipino street food dish consisting of marinated, boiled, and grilled chicken intestines, which are usually coiled and skewered on a stick. It is usually dipped in a vinegar-based sauce that is made with bird's eye chili, onions, and a bit of salt and sugar. Dipping sauce or sawsawan in Tagalog. She got balot and chicharon too. Do you tease your family when you see each other? For us, we always tease each other. Teasing within families can be a way to show affection and closeness, but it can also cross the line and become hurtful. If you get hurt easily, you deserve this cheese! Yay! That was sarcasm. Parang ikaw yung keso na ito. Pikon. Every family has a distinct culture or relational style regarding hierarchy, boundaries, communication, and humor. The family dynamics help facilitate and reinforce the culture because each family member is so unique. An individual's reaction or integration of the family culture varies from person to person. Some people use teasing as a playful way to feel closer to another person or to show friendship. In other words, they only tease people they are comfortable with and generally tease about things that are shared between them, like a little known quirk or action. My so-called friends back then, we used to tease each other all the time. Because my so-called friends aren't my friends anymore, I tease one close friend that I have. However, it is fairly common for those who are being teased to misunderstand the intentions of the person teasing them. They miss the cues that the teasing is being done affectionately and because the teaser likes them. For us, that's our love language. We humorously mess up each other and make that positive facet. The outcome for my family was that we become more resilient and adaptable. We learn to be more flexible and creative in finding solutions to our problems. We also learn to be more grateful for what we have and not take anything for granted. In our school, that phrase, we also learn to be more grateful for what we have, is called you get what you get and you don't get upset. See you in the next videos, my dear repeaters. Bye-bye to all of my repeaters.
Eh, bakit di pa nabayaran? Oh.
Imposible naman yung hindi niya bayaran.
O ngayon, kinontak ko siya po. Bo, walang connection, walang wifi, wala tayong wifi.
Ganun lang yun.
Gago kayo.
2,000.
Wala kayong mga gago.
Mami, hindi ako natakot eh. Mami, hindi ako natakot talaga eh. Yun ang
Sayang,
problema
sayang,
ko.
sayang 10,000, di ka
Okay na eh. Tapos pagdating dito, dapat